I think Flipkart is defined by its culture of innovation, its strong bias for action and agility. I think Flipkart, Flipsters, right? So we are not afraid to tackle any problem, and we are also not afraid to turn the battleship and reinvent ourselves, right? So as the market changes. The central engineering function that I manage, right, is defined by its bias for action. So if you typically look at how engineering teams are constructed, they are made up of specialists, right? So we have people who are search specialists or promise engine specialists or an infrastructure specialist and so on, and they're all critical roles and very important for the org. But one of the things that I think is increasingly important in our changing, fast-moving market is to have a more nimble team. And that was the thinking behind formulating the central engineering function, which we also call the Tiger team. So this is a team filled with full stack engineers, and they are trained to go into any situation and pick up priorities as and when they arise. So these are people who do short-term deployments in different areas. They could be working in the demand side one day, on the supply side another day, and they are excited about solving for a specific priority and a project, and not necessarily being thought of as domain experts in one specific area. I think bias for action and agility are core foundational tenets of the central engineering team or the Tiger team. Generally, if you look at how engineering teams are constructed, right, so they're made up of specialists, right? We have people who are search specialists or promise engine specialists or infrastructure specialists, and they're all important roles and they're critical for the success of the org. But one of the things that we see in our industry is that it is a fast-changing industry. There are always new constructs, new competitors to contend with, and what you need is a different type of an engineer who is more of a full stack engineer. He's an engineer, or he or she is an engineer who's able to react more quickly to the changing needs of the org. One of the challenges that we have within the company is, even after we've identified a new problem space to go enter and tackle, the whole process of spinning up a team, doing the hiring is a multi-month process, right? It takes away from our agility to respond to that situation in a very quick manner, and that is where the Tiger team comes in. These are full stack engineers who have been hired to whose allegiance is to specific projects and not necessarily to a team, and they are very comfortable operating in an environment where they could be working in one area for a quarter or two before switching to another team. I think innovation is the lifeblood of Flipkart, and it is critical for us to be successful in the industry, right? So we are one of the pioneers of this new wave of entrepreneurship in the country, and Flipkart as a company has been extremely successful, partly because of its innovation. And you could talk about the many things that the company has done, including building its own supply chain, building its own private data center and operating India's largest data center, building a lot of payments and financial constructs like cash on delivery and so on, right? So Flipkart has a history of innovation, and it is probably the most important reason why Flipkart is what it is today. The way another way to think about innovation is in two different buckets, right? So there is the construct of continuous innovation, which happens on a day-to-day basis across every single team, right? Every team needs to think of innovation as its core tenet, and that is something that happens at Flipkart fairly regularly. Then there is the construct of breakthrough innovation, which is required when critical technologies are entering the industry, right? And we've had several such technology inflections, and one of the primary vehicle that we use within OneTech is the Flipkart Labs team, right? So this is the team that has worked on technologies like 3D and AR. We worked on technologies like blockchain, and we are now working on generative AI. I think the thing that really motivates me about working at Flipkart is our mission. And even though Flipkart is a very large company today, if you look at the e-commerce penetration in the industry, it is still probably less than 10%, probably 6 or 7%. And so the opportunity in front of us is enormous, and that is truly something that drives and motivates me.